Hello, folks. I'm Detroit Miracle. Yes, and indeed. Right now, I am here to have more cool comic book slash film slash story discussion fun. This such topic will be about legendary gospel singer named Dorothy Love Coates. Yes, folks. Okay, Dorothy Love Coates would go on to pioneer gospel techniques of sound, music, and ministry through the whole process. But earlier, she started at a very young age. It was said that she was in a poor family. Her father was a minister, and then things went south and he divorced the mother. So she had to drop out of school at some point and do odd jobs. But it was known that she was a musical prodigy at the age of 10, which showed her playing piano in churches at the age of 10 years old. So that would make her a prodigy because I've never seen that in any church I went to. There's never been a young child playing any musical instruments. So she played in churches and sang, and then she determined that it was her calling at a certain point. So her and her sisters joined a group, a family group called the McGriff Sisters, I believe. And they would sing in churches, and, she would gain popularity along the way, with her sisters, of course. And then when she got old enough, she left that group, or it disbanded, and she joined a group that would become one of the most popular gospel groups ever, called the Harmonics, something like that. So she joined the Popular Harmonics, and they would record hit after hit after hit, and those songs would be legendary and iconic. It is said that not only could she sing very good and she could play the piano, she could arrange music, she could perform sermons and ministries through the singing process entirely. And it was said she became an iconic stage performer with that whole process in terms of getting people more into the Holy Spirit process of things and the whole feel, so that when you see her shows, you would feel like you got a spiritual cleansing, healing, and a great performance at the same time. So she was performing in this group, and she wrote more than 300 songs for this group, more than 300. And it is said that in all, throughout her career, she recorded more than 20 albums or so. And probably some of them were live performance albums, because gospel greats usually do that. And the gospel albums that are live usually do incredibly well. Okay, Miss Coates, of course, was so good as a gospel singer, so emotionally filled, that the other musical genres was trying to get her to cross over and do other types of music, such as rock and roll, blues, jazz. But she was turning down their offers no matter how much money they offered her, because she felt like gospel was her true calling. Okay, we will also be comparing power levels of Dorothy Love Coates in terms of how she was characterized in all particular formats within her particular area of art. Okay, and what better time than to do that than now? Okay, she was a powerhouse singer. They said she was so powerful as a female singer, she could out-sing some of the greatest legendary male singers that were out there. So that would mean she wasn't a pure soprano singer. That means she could sing in terms of raspy sounds integrated with high-pitched tones while doing that. So, they can explain it and define it within the whole music scope, but they said she could out-sing men. They didn't say women. They said she could out-sing every legendary male singer back in her day, and she managed to inspire many of the great artists outside of genre, because some of them would use her music in their songs and they would become big hits as well. So she was an influence in music in general. regardless of the musical genre. She's a powerhouse of a minister, very powerful. She's very powerful as a songwriter, as showcased during that. She's powerful as a stage performer, minister who can sermonize and bring the energy up to a high pitched level. Of course, she's a master pianist. Yeah, so she's immensely talented and powerful and a true powerhouse within gospel music as such. Okay, folks, let me know how you feel about this one.